Well, good morning, everybody. It is Sunday the 20th. It's the day after the big Texas game. Well, it didn't come out as well as maybe some of us had hoped, but it was sure a good battle, at least according to the Houston Chronicle article that I read very early this morning. Indicated that it was a really good contest between the two teams, and Tech certainly held their own. Best of luck to Texas Tech in future endeavors, and well, we'll see what happens with Texas on down the road. Football season here means something slightly different in Europe. It's mostly surrounding what's going on in the soccer world. Although I don't follow it real closely, I do kind of get interested when you have like the World Cup or the European Cup. The Dutch team hasn't fared so well as of late, but they seem to do pretty well in the Premiership, where a lot of Dutch players are active. Well, that's enough about football. Today I was watching an interesting show on CNN. It was a special report from Christiane Amanpour, which is a very well-known reporter for CNN. She goes to a lot of hot spots around the world and covers things that many of us would probably not associate with the gentler side of life. And in this case, she's doing a report about the Generation Islam. This idea about winning the hearts and minds of people. It begins with children that are oftentimes stricken by poverty in those areas, and then of course the women, the mothers, unfortunately, who are oftentimes left without husbands, or their children are sent off to fight and do different things, and what difficulties that puts on families and so on and so forth. But this is really good. In this report, Christiane Amanpour focused for a part on this guy named Greg Mortensen. Now, I wasn't familiar with him. He is an American civilian that went to go climb K2 some years ago, and when he came down for that climb, he became a little bit more aware of what was happening with the children and the people of that area, that war-torn area in Pakistan, and also along the Afghani border. He wrote a book called 3 Cups of Tea, which talks a bit about how it is that you need to not only befriend that culture, but how he's gotten to know that culture more deeply, and how he's working to increase opportunities for education for young people in those areas, and really fighting for the hearts and minds from a grassroots level. You can find more about that online, both at CNN.com under Generation Islam, but then as well there is a not-for-profit organization called Pennies for Peace. That's penniesforpeace.org. You can check out some of their efforts to raise funds to increase educational opportunities to women and to children in Afghanistan. For the rest, I gotta go off and make some burritos today. Obviously, it's a new season, so my cravings turn towards hotter foods, spicier foods. So look out, maybe I'll be doing some green chili stew here in the near future. But I want to go ahead and get these burritos made. I've got a ferry trip today, planning to go to the UK. I'll be there for a little while. Hopefully I'll get some good video or pictures from there along my travels. I did a report about that earlier on one of my recent musings this year. You can go back and check that out. But for the rest, that's really all that I have for today. Hope that you have a good week ahead, and we'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.
Oh, I'm actually first one off this time, which is kind of cool.